All right, so when you're ready.
Okay, put away your People magazines, turn off your cell phones and your iPods, stow your computers, and destroy your tablets. And then maybe you'll be able to pay attention to what I'm about to say and learn how to save our country. We as a society place far too much importance on entertainment. It's become such a big part of our lives, and we spend so much time on it that we let other aspects. We let other aspects of our lives fall by the wayside, and it's causing our generation to grow up with what I believe to be a warped sense of values and a hedonistic belief system that isn't going to be conducive to the types of life that most of us want to live. First, I'm going to present you guys with some figures regarding how Americans spend their leisure time. Then I'm going to compare what some of the top entertainers in this country are making to what people in more vital careers make. And then I'm going to explain how our addiction to entertainment will cause us to fall behind rising countries like India and China in the near future if we do not change. According to a comprehensive study done by the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, males aged 15 to 75 spend an average of 5.8 hours per day engaging in leisure-related activities. Females in the same age bracket spend 5.1 hours in leisure-related activities. And of this time, TV accounts for 2.7 hours, so more than half of this leisure time. It's the most common leisure activity. The second most prevalent activity was socialization with friends and family. And this includes socialization that was done over the internet. Now there was a problem with that I found and many other people found with this study. It did not include time spent doing an activity like watching TV or spending time on Facebook if it was being done in conjunction with another activity. So if you were washing dishes or folding laundry or taking care of the kids while you were watching television, that wasn't considered time spent watching television. And the reason that's a problem is because I know the majority of people, when they're on Facebook or they're watching TV, their attention is divided between that and homework, or they're doing that and something else. And that's not even being accounted for. So I think the numbers are actually much higher than just 2.7 hours per day. People don't understand how detrimental things like Facebook are to our health. In an article on Mashable.com, I found that in 2010, each American user spent an average of 421 minutes per month on Facebook. That's more than 7 hours. And there's more and more users every day. It's showing no signs of slowing down. It's actually picking up speed, if anything. And I found an article by Clay Shirky, a distinguished writer and consultant at NYU, that has published 2 books on how the internet affects our culture. And in it, in his article titled Gin, Television, and Social Surplus, Shirky states that the internet-connected population of the world spent over 1 trillion hours every year watching TV. And that's none of us can really imagine what 1 trillion hours is. The number's too big. But try. 1 trillion hours a year watching TV. And if we spent 1% of that trillion hours, 1% of that allotted TV watching time, to writing content and sharing knowledge, the results of that effort would be over 100 Wikipedias worth of information every year, worth of information and participation. That's like a volume of information. Wikipedia has so much data on it. If we could do that every year for 1% of the time that we would normally use watching TV, doing something productive, I don't understand why everyone doesn't do that. 1%. We should all have blogs, and we should all just share what we learn each and every single day, because that's something you can't do with a status update. These things do nothing to improve our lives. They're the ultimate time sink, and really only serve to appease and control the proletariat, which is unfortunately us. Imagine how much time we will spend wasting our lives on entertainment by the time we're on our deathbeds. Every single one of us is going to wish we'd accomplished more and done more with our lives. And I'm showing you a really easy way to do that. We just need to de-emphasize the role entertainment has in our life. So Dylan, what should we be doing with this time instead of wasting it, dumbing ourselves down into a stupor, you might ask? To which I would reply, you should spend it working on self-improvement. You should read a book about how to manage your money or earn more. You should learn how to start your own garden so you can raise your own produce. You could improve your own fitness or volunteer to help others. And these are just examples, but they're all things that we could do to make a positive impact on our lives. To see how much value we place as a society place on entertainment, all you really need to do is look at what the top entertainers in our country are making. According to slashfilm.com, in 1999, Bruce Willis made $100 million off of The Sixth Sense. Keanu Reeves made over $160 million off the two Matrix movies. And a more contemporary example is that the most recent Twilight movie, the top 3 cast members each made $25 million plus the 8% gross that they're entitled to make. And it's not just movie stars. Professional athletes are just as bad. They receive just as much attention. Peyton Manning and Phillip Rivers each made $30 million last year. And that was for throwing a ball for 5 months out of the year. And that really outrages me when you think about what other professions make in comparison. So, as of December 2010, the average police patrol officer salary in California was just over $41,000. That's from IHireLawEnforcement.com. Firefighters in the state, I know from personal knowledge, my neighbor's a firefighter, and he earns about $74,000 per year, and that's including his benefits. These are essential jobs. I would not live in a world, in a country, that did not have policemen and firefighters, because first of all, it would be terrifying and dangerous. Not to mention teachers, doctors, surgeons, construction workers. These are pivotal careers. Society would cease to function normally without these jobs. But we would be completely fine if we didn't have celebrities and professional athletes bombarding every channel of our propaganda boxes every second of the day. And that's a fact. The reason all this is so important is because we're setting ourselves up for failure. We really are. We feel entitled in the United States. We feel entitled to have fun every day, and if we don't get a certain amount of fun time in our day, then we get really upset and feel like it's not fair. We're also much less well-rounded than I feel previous generations were. We aren't living as much life. We aren't developing as sound, lasting relationships. We aren't developing as many skills or proper work ethic. And when I ask people my age, what their hobbies are, they usually say partying and Facebook, which really means partying and then talking to people that they were partying with about how much they were partying, so that other people could see how much they were partying, which goes back to Ted Anthony's speech last week. It's just self-gratification, and there's no depth to their character, there's no substance there. And this brings me to my next point, because the United States is currently the largest economy in the world, but according to GDP projections made by PricewaterhouseCoopers, the largest global financial professional services firm in the world, China will pass the United States by the year 2025. That's only 13 years away. We're going to see it happen. By 2050, their economy will be double the size of ours, and India will have just passed us as well. And the reason why is simple. All you have to do is look at their culture. They don't have the same sense of entitlement that is so pervasive here. They're very disciplined, and they feel like they have to earn what they receive. They thrive while we're on our downward spiral. And we need to recapture the American spirit. We need to show the world that we're still number one in everything that we do. But we're not going to be able to do that if we're too busy streaming latest sports updates on our iPhones or keeping up with the Kardashians.